and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the opening action on the D Street, the trading setup and all the market strategies you need to follow for this last trading session of the week. Remember, easing tensions globally between US and China. Also, back home, the September quarterly results along with mixed global cues that we are getting will be driving the stock market's mood today on the Sensex and the Nifty as well. What we've seen overnight in the US, all the major indices, they ended lower as traders were just digesting the mixed earnings from the big tech firms. S&P 500 fell by almost 1%, Nasdaq declined by 1.5%, Dow Jones was down by 0.2%. Following this move on the Asia markets or the Asia Pacific markets this morning, they opened mostly higher on Friday as investors reacted positively to signs of easing tensions between Washington and Beijing. The move also followed a meeting between US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea on Thursday, where both leaders reportedly agreed to a limited trade truce. The trade deal also helped diffuse a dispute over rare earth exports that had continued to threaten to escalate a broader trade war between the world's two largest economies as well. So following this, we've seen the Nikkei rising by about 1% in trade today. We've also seen fresh record highs having hit on Nikkei over the last many days. Topics also advanced by 0.8%, hitting a new peak again, that as well. Kospi slipped, however, 0.1% lower in trade after reaching a record high in the previous session as well, whereas the Kosdaq was seen gaining about 0.5% in trade as well. ASX also opened about 0.5%. So the entire Asia Pacific region was largely on the positive side, whereas Hang Seng and Shanghai, they're still lower in trade. The GIFT Nifty trends are also indicating to just a mild positive start, but we will see whether we will be able to hold on to the gains, because yesterday's move where profit booking took shape on the higher levels continued to show that the bears are also not leaving the street as of now. When we talk about the earnings season, that's in a full peak. It's reached a crescendo. Vedanta, Bank of Baroda, Phoenix Mills, GAIL India, BEL, Patanjali Foods, Spandana Spurti, also Bharat Electronics, Maruti from the Auto Pack, ACC. Many of these companies will be reporting their results, and therefore it will be very important for the street to watch out for all these results in trade today as well. Now, of course, this is also an important session because you're going to be seeing a large, much anticipated Lenskart IPO open up for subscription today, while such accessories IPO from the mainline space will also enter day 1. Okla also India will enter day 3. We'll also see Safe Cure Services IPO from the SME space also enter day 3 as well. So a lot of IPO action also continues to be right in the focus area too. Now, of course, when we look at how the Lenskart IPO is going to be taking shape ahead of the IPO, there's been so much of discussion and debate around the valuations of Lenskart IPO and whether these peak valuations offer any value unlocking for the fresh investors who may be participating in the IPO as well. Now, what we are given to understand is that Lenskart already has raised about 3,000 odd crore rupees via the anchor book as well, right ahead of the IPO. We're also given to understand that the grey market premium is still on a positive side, at least for now. So that's some positive for all those people who may be looking to apply. The price band is 382 to 402 rupees per share. At the upper end of the price band, the company is raising 7,278 odd crore rupees as well, but we will be doing a larger discussion on that. But look at the Nifty. Slipped below 25,700 mark right at the pre-open tick today. 0.7% of a weakness. Of course, looking at the mixed global cues. Will this improve? It is slightly improving now for the better. Remember, for the large part of this week, the bulls have managed to protect the lower end of the 25,810 odd mark. Will we continue to protect that on the last trading session of the day as well? That's something that we will, of course, be discussing with our top guests as well. Let me also pull up the Nifty Bank. Remember, yesterday even the Nifty Bank was lower. When we talk about the broader markets, mid and the small caps, those are the pockets that were actually doing slightly better off than the benchmark indices, but still largely in the red as well. The Nifty Bank hasn't started to take yet. Let's look at the IT space too. and see how some of the stocks will be reacting. That's from Emphasis, and some of these IT mid-cap names will definitely be remaining in focus amidst all these earnings that are coming in. So that's another space that we need to watch out for as well. Let me also, talk about, look at the first pre-open tick on Emphasis, about 1% higher is what we are given to understand. In contrast, the large cap names like Infosys, about 0.5% lower at 1485 is what you see Infosys trading at in the pre-open trade right now. Let me also pull up some of the banking names, and Coforge, of course, after the results last week, we've actually seen the stock move up higher in trade consistently. Good set of numbers coming in for that one. Banking space stocks, let's pull up HDFC, let's pull up ICICI, Axis Bank to really see how all of these really moving in trade. And heavyweights will of course be in focus in trade today. There are so many of news flows that the investors must be keeping in their mind. ICICI Bank down by 2% in pre-open is not looking good for the banking space at large. Axis Bank slightly lower. Let's look at HDFC as well to see how some of these bigger banks are moving. And then I will also pull up Reliance Industries. SBI, however, flat to a positive bias. PSU banks again, which have started to garner some strength, will be in focus as to how do they move in trade as well. I want to put up Reliance Industries. The stock is lower by about 0.3% in trade today. This company will be in focus again, because Reliance Intelligence Limited, remember we've been talking about the AI focus of Reliance Industries over the last many days, and Google have entered into an expansive strategic partnership to accelerate the adoption of AI across India, empowering consumers, enterprises, developers in line with AI's vision of Reliance Industry as well. You know, Reliance's AI for all vision is what they have talked about, and that's something that will keep the stock in focus as well. But let's look at from the banking space again, Bandhan Bank, because the results have actually come in. Sharp decline in post-tax profit that the company has posted to 112 odd crore rupees compared to 937 crore rupees in the same quarter previous year. Sharp decline on that one. Operating profit also has fallen to 1310 odd crore rupees from 1855 odd crore rupees in the year ago period. So Bandhan Bank will be clearly in focus. Let's pull up that stock as well to see in the pre-open trade how that one is reacting to the space too. And let me also highlight for you some more stocks that we should be definitely looking at, which are on the brokerage houses radar as well, viewers. Look at the Bandhan Bank share. It's actually indicating a sharp upward momentum on Bandhan Bank, and we will be telling you what could have been the key reason there. Much better than the estimates, I believe. It's the profitability that has taken an impact, but despite that the stock is actually opening higher in trade. Let me actually bring in Kunal V. Parar, who's joining in to share with us his views on the markets today. Kunal, warm welcome to you. Good to have you with us on the program. We'll still first take a view on the markets because it's the last trading session of the week, and of course help us understand the next week's kind of move as well that you expect on the markets. And right now, what is the strategy that you're expecting? Because extreme amount of volatility, profit booking at higher levels, this has become a norm for this entire week so far.
Well, good morning. And if you talk about market, yes, volatility will be very high as US India tariff talk is going on, and based on this event, we may see a higher volatility in the market. Now, not only this, further development also would be there, and based on this, we may see a high volatility during upcoming trading session. Now, if we talk about Nifty, yesterday we got the close at 25,870. 7 level, and since last many days Nifty has been trading between the range of 25,700 to 26,150. Either side breakout will decide the next course of action. Till that time, we may see some correction from the present level up to the lower band of the lower part of the lower band, which comes at 25,700 level. And if Nifty approaches this level, then we may see some kind of bounce back as well, even again up to the level of 26,100. So from the present level, I'm expecting some kind of correction in the market up to the level of 25,800 700.
Okay, fair point. Let's start off by understanding banking space. Bandhan Bank, how are you looking at the stock? This stock has actually underperformed for a huge time in the stock market space and has remained in a very consolidative band, not given anything to investors over the last many quarters as well. Now again, we are looking to see the stock react to its Q2 numbers, where the net profit has plunged by 88% on a year-on-year basis to 112 crore rupees only. The NII has also dropped by about 12 odd percent as well. And how do you see the reaction to the earnings? And of course, what should be the strategy that investors must look at right now?
But obviously, based on this result number, we may see sometimes downside momentum in the Bandhan Bank. Right now, in pre-opening, it is showing somewhere around 161. Downside, strong support comes at 163, and but obviously, if Bandhan Bank gives close below this 163, then further downside would be there up to the level of 154. And if stock breaks this level, then further downside would be there up to the level of 142. Now, from a strategy perspective, I think one should wait and watch. Nothing to no indication from my side to get into the stock at present level. That gets this volatility settled down, and afterwards we will get a clear direction. Till that time, one has to wait and watch. And yes, this stock should be there in your watch list. If stock approaches downside level 142, then it would become a good buying opportunities for creating a position for medium term to long term. Till that, one should avoid this stock.
Okay, got that. Let me also bring in, a view that you could share with us, Kunal, on some of the other key stocks that are reacting to the news flows and the results as well. From the liquor pack, I'm looking at United Spirits. The company has posted a 36% year-on-year rise in its consolidated net profit to 464 crores. Look at the pre-open tick there, 4.5% higher almost. And this is the net revenue has also jumped by 11.6% to 3,173 odd crore rupees. That's another stock that we should be looking at as well. There are brokerage houses upgrades also coming in for you on your screens as well as to how are they looking at the stock after the results too. How are you looking at USL for now? Kunal, do you think this is the right time to look at the stock?
Well, this is not the right time to get into the stock because in pre-opening it is giving gap opening by 4.3 percentage, and further upside would be there up to the level of 1525 level. Now risk reward is not in favor of creating any long position, but yes, if you have position in this stock, then hold this stock. Yes, as you said, first target would be at 1525, and if stock breaks this level, then afterward it may march towards the level of 1625. Stock has already given a breakout of its range bound momentum. Stock has already given stock has already taken the support of its previous bottom, which was placed at 1275. So technical structure is clearly talking about the upward momentum only. But yes, for fresh recommendation, for fresh buying, for fresh length position, I'm not recommending to get into the stock because risk reward not is in favor of creating any fresh position in the counter right now.
Okay, got that. Taking the next question now then, this one I wanted to actually focus a bit on some of the other numbers that are also coming in. Let's focus on Navin Fluorine. A lot of retail interest has always flourished on this kind of stock. Jefferies has come out with a buy rating on Navin Fluorine with a target price that's highest amongst all the brokerage companies that have given, 6,635. Look at the pre-open tick, 11% higher of an indication at 5,525. And Jefferies has also given a much higher target than that, which actually means even beyond this 11% surge, there could be an upside is what they say. Why have they come out with a bullish report? They say the company has given an all-round beat on the earnings, EBITDA, PAT, that is operational profits, and the bottom line have both been ahead of their own estimates, driven by strength across the three business verticals that the company has been looking at. Firm contracts in the specialty chemicals in the CDMO space actually are providing visibility to the investors on improved utilization going forward from here of the 25 billion rupees of a capex commissioned in the past 3 years for the company too. And they have upgraded the FY26 and FY27 estimated EBITDA by 13 and 14% respectively there. Navin Fluorine for you, Kunal.
Well, stock is giving a massive gap opening in the chart, by 11 percentage at 5,525 level. No doubt, technical structure looks very impressive and very attractive. But again, it is giving a gap opening by 11%, so not the perfect candidate for creating any long position. Stock is entering into its uncharted territory, making all-time high. Positive rhythm is the volume activity is on above average level. Stock has been trading above all its long-term moving averages. So clear-cut upside momentum would be there in the counter. If you talk about upside momentum, then as per the extension, first target would be at 5,640, and if stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 5,900 to 6,300. So yes, as per the momentum theory, we may see a very good upside momentum towards the northward direction, but not perfect candidate for creating any long position at present level. But yes, if you have the stock in your portfolio, hold this stock, we may see a very good upside momentum in the counter.
Okay, let's go forward and look at another stock. But actually before that, let me come to Kunal's own choice of stocks there. Kunal, the markets have settled in the pre-open 14 points lower of a start for the Nifty is indicated, 25,863. Nifty Bank is indicative of a lower start as well. 1/10% lower is what we could see the Nifty Bank open at in about 3 to 4 minutes from now, viewers. But when we look at the sectors, we could see FMCG higher, we could see autos higher, broader markets could open on a positive note, PSU banks and slight gains on IT. We could see, but banking space could be behind. When we look at the private and the financial services space, pharma could be starting lower, real estate also could be seeing some cuts right at the open. When we look at the stocks, BEL is in focus. Remember, viewers, that stock could be opening about 1% higher in trade. Eicher Motors, remember, this is all earnings and ahead of earnings kind of a play for BEL. Eicher Motors could be opening in higher. Coal India, Apollo Hospitals, ITC, reacting to the news flows, could be also opening higher as well. What could be opening lower? Cipla continuing with its fall of yesterday. Max Healthcare also down in trade. Remember, the pharma space was lagging in trade yesterday. We'll see how it pans out today as well. Kunal, what are your top stock ideas for the day today?
Well, from my side, it's Hyundai. Right now, stock is opening at 2419 level, and we have seen a very good upside momentum ahead of this GST rate cuts. Right now, stock is giving a good bounce back, taking a support of its previous top, which was placed at 2240 level. So we will keep asset at 2240 level, and if you talk about the target wise, first target comes at 2555 level, and if stock breaks this level, then one way rally will be there up to the level of 2800 as well. So somewhere around 15 to 16% of rally that we can expect from this counter at present level. And if you talk about other counters, then we have seen a very good upside momentum. We have seen a very good rally momentum from this realty counter. So I'm betting on the realty counters, and from the realty sector, it's Sobha right now giving its opening at 1585. We will keep SL at 1530, and if you talk about target wise, first target comes at 1630, and if stock breaks this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 1700. So somewhere around 7 to 8% of momentum that we can expect from this counter from the present level. Perfect counter to get into the stock at present level.
Okay, fair point, viewers. We will await the starting of the markets now. But just one quick word between the Nifty and the Nifty Bank on the exchanges. Where are you more bullish on, Kunal?
Well, right now I'm not bullish on any either index. Bank Nifty is giving its opening at 57,942, slightly below from its previous close, and it may slide up to the level of 57,450 to 400. So yes, I'm like a little bit bullish on bearish on both the index. So not suggesting any long position at present level.
Okay, fair point. Let's shift focus to the markets, viewers. We are awaiting the kickstart of the markets today. Remember, this entire week we have actually seen a lot of pressure on the higher levels, and every attempt of the bulls to move forward towards 26,000 has been countered by the bears pulling the markets down and seeing a lot of selling pressure at higher levels as well. Will this be another day when we will see further selling pressure on the higher levels? Will Nifty be able to hold on to 25,800 mark by the end of the week as well, is something that we will watch out for. 25,850 and above, that level is what we have started off with, but a 0.1% lower. 35 points of a decline on the Nifty right at the start of the session. The Nifty Bank also starting on the back foot. You can actually see dips of almost 0.1, 0.2% odd as far as the Nifty Bank is concerned. This is led down by the financial services space. IT stocks also down in trade, 0.1% lower. So the heavyweight spaces are down. What about the broader markets, the mid and the small caps? You can see slight gains on both these in the trade right now as we speak. But will this continue to be saved towards the end of the session? FMCG and realty, which is starting on the positive end, is looking at maintaining some gains right at the opening. Look at the real estate space. When we started to see just the closing of the session yesterday, it was real estate that managed to pull up from the day's lowest point. Real estate is managing some more gains that are coming in trade today. So real estate, PSU banks, autos, that's all. And the gains also remain elusive, but the stocks, BEL starting 0.7% higher. The NSE advances are still pointing to the positive. 1040.86 advances to 598 decline, so that's a positive. On the back foot is Cipla, 1% down in trade. Which are the banking losers? ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, AU Small Finance Bank, all lower. Let's look at the stocks that we have marked out in the pre-open for you. United Spirits, post earnings, starting 3.7% higher. We marked out this for you viewers before as well. And of course, the brokerage houses views too. Let's also mark out Naveen Fluorine yet again and see how the stock is performing. Remember, the pre-open trade indicated a 10-11% start. It's starting at a 12.5% higher in trade for Naveen Fluorine at 5593. A stupendous start for this stock. This is right after the earnings. And Jefferies brokerage house view that 6,635 levels is what they see the fair value at after the earnings for this one. This is a clear results impact, a positive one that you are seeing for this one. Results impact for Dabur on the back foot, 2.3% lower, pulling down the FMCG index lower in trade, at least for now. Stocks on the Nifty that are managing some gains. BEL, Maruti ahead of earnings, Coal India, also Eicher Motors, HDFC Bank, Reliance Industries starting with a tick on the positive side. Remember, we've talked about that enhanced relationship on the AI front with Google that's impacting the stock. We are also seeing some results of IFB Industries getting a positive impact, 1.7% higher on the front as well. So those are some of the stocks that are reacting to the earnings. Kunal, how are you looking at the opening in the markets? What catches your attention right at the open?
Well, if you talk about opening, Nifty is trading at 25,848, and further downside momentum would be there up to the level of 25,800 to 25,700. I'm not getting any sense for upside momentum at present level. And if you talk about overall market, and if you talk about other stocks, then from the we already talk about Hyundai. Hyundai is up by 1%, and from the other counters like reality stocks, we already talk about Soba. But yeah, one stock is there. It's a Lodha, up by 1.4%, trading at 1.87%. Overall, all reality counters are trading at very attractive level. And if you talk about particularly Lodha, the way stock has been trading on its daily chart, we will see for the upside momentum from its present level. Stock has already taken the support of its previous bottom, which was placed at 1100 level. Right now, stock is trading at 1193. If you talk about the upper side momentum, first target would be at 1230, and if stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 1320. So perfect level to get into the stock at present level with stick stop loss of 1160. So yes, right now I'm betting on reality counters compared to other sectors.
Okay, got that. Well, let me also highlight for all our viewers some of the other stocks that are buzzing in trade. TD Power Systems. Look at the stock. A very smart move in trade today, right at the open, 8.5% higher. This is after yesterday the company has reported its earnings, a profit of 60 crore rupees for the second quarter, but this is a jump of 45% from 41 crore rupees of profits that were posted by the company in the same period last year, same quarter last year. 11.5% higher in trade. It's only building onto the morning moves. Remember, it's only 5 minutes now since the markets have opened and the stock has moved up 11% now. Revenue for the quarter for the company has also reflected a 47% surge at 452 odd crore rupees. EBITDA again strong, 48% of a surge coming in on that one. EBITDA margin largely stable at around 18.2% from 18.1%. The company has declared an interim dividend as well, equivalent of 1 rupees per equity share, face value of 2 rupees each as well for the financial year March ending March of 31st, 2026. Now remember, this payment will be made in the 30 days of the declaration of the equity shareholders of the company too. That's a smart move on TD Power Systems. Kunal, how are you looking at the stock? Would you buy it after this move?
Well, magnificent momentum that we are seeing right now in the counter, handsome return that investors has been getting in these counters. I know trading at 761 level. Uncharted territory is there. Above as volume is there. Positive rhythm is there. So based on this technical structure, further upside would be there in this counter. I'm not suggesting to get into the stock at present level for creating any long position, because risk reward again is not favorable for this counter. But yes, if you have this stock in a portfolio, I think good upside momentum would be there up to the level of 922. And if anybody want to keep an SL, then right now strong support comes at 680. So one can trail this SL for an upside momentum up to the level of 922.
Okay, got that. Let's also welcome on board Prashant Tapsi joining in from Meta Equities to share with us a fundamental view on the markets at this stage too. A warm welcome to you, Prashant. Good to have you with us. Well, tell me, how are you looking at the current setup of the markets? There was some momentum, around Diwali and post-it, but seems like, we are lacking the strength to continue our gains beyond 26,000. How are you, looking at the markets, and what's your strategy in the current volatility?
I think we are in the month end as well as in the weekend, but a lot of two big news which were about to keep markets on a positive way. One was the India, US and China meeting, which did not support the markets to uplift. Again, on the second, the 25 basis point of cut from the Fed also did not support the Asian markets as well as on Indian markets to have a good rally. And overall, everybody was expecting an all-time high post these two meetings events. But again, I think we should go with a very cautious outlook right now with the weekend factor again. So any close below 25,800 can be a cautious view for me on the technical levels. And a fundamental levels, again, the Q2 earnings are giving some kind of strong support, the way how ITC has delivered a good results, the way how DLF has given good results in the Q2 earnings. So the more focus now would be on the earnings that should have some kind of great support for the overall markets. And Q2 has been better than Q1. That is the biggest thing which markets are taking on a positive way.
I'm going to bring both of your attention to the food delivery space. Remember, this is one space where both Kunal and Prashant, you have shared with us a view in the last many quarters. We've consistently talked to you about both Eternal and Swiggy. Swiggy came out with the earnings yesterday. Net loss widened to 1,092 crore rupees as well. The stock is still hovering slightly on a positive end right now. This is despite that the top line has actually jumped by 50% odd. The company has also announced a QIP fundraise now of 10,000 odd crore rupees as well. How are you looking at Swiggy at this stage in time? What is your understanding of the earnings and the trajectory going forward? And how should one be looking at the stock at this level along with the earnings?
So overall, on a fundamental basis, I think the earnings were in line with our expectations. So the way how the sector is moving faster to capture the market share, I think there will be continued cash burn strategy for the company. That is how the losses have been widened up. So, but I think the industry is going very fast, and the habitual of people getting everything at home will continue. And obviously, maybe another 1 or 2 quarters, the company may start narrowing down their losses and coming into profit maybe next financial year. So overall, very positive on this sector. And I believe the strategy should be having both the stocks like Swiggy as well as Eternal in the portfolio, because both are in the similar sector. The addressable market remains same. The markets are going faster. It is very difficult to have one which is best among two. So I think we should have both in the portfolio.
Okay, got that. Kunal, to you, technically speaking, how is Swiggy placed at 425 levels, 1.8% higher despite that sharp loss, deepening loss that the company has posted in the quarterly earnings, and that the company is backing now on bending forward to, raise some money, 10,000 odd crore rupees as well going forward?
Well, even after this loss, stock means we are not witnessing any downside momentum in the counter. Right now, counter is trading up by 1.5%, 425 level. Stock is a strong support at 405 level. I think this is a perfect time to get into the stock, and once we capitalize this momentum, one can keep SL at 405 level. If you talk about target wise, first target comes at 455 and stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 475. But yes, one should keep strict SL at 405 level. And if you talk about Eternal, the way stock has been trading on this daily chart, I think one should avoid at present level, because we have already seen a very good upside momentum one way upside momentum was there from the level of 220 to 360, and right now stock is in correction mode, and this correction may last up to the level of 300 level. So yes, for Swiggy it's thumbs up, but for Eternal I think one should wait and watch.
Okay, got that. Let me actually quickly look at, what exactly can we now look at between the other technology space stocks too. Prashant, help us understand a broader view now, beyond Swiggy as well, onto the large new age tech space. Which are the stocks that are actually giving you promising value?
I think Policy Bazaar would be the one stock one should focus more on. I think technically as well as fundamentally both things are working towards a positive and optimistic view on the short term as well as in the long term. So I believe in the tech space this stock can do a better ROI for an investor for a short term as well as in the long term.
Okay, let me also now come at the same space to talk about these new age companies in the IPO space as well. Lenskart is opening its IPO today, and this IPO, it came amidst a lot of anticipation, yet a lot of social media debate on the valuations at which it is coming. What we have also seen is that people are questioning how, if the promoter repurchased some stocks at a much lower value just about 3 months ago, how is the valuation just 3 months later justified at these levels, and selling of the stock at 402. The third key important point will be, for those who may be looking at applying to the IPO, will it still be a positive IPO to look at? Will it still unlock some value going forward from here? Now we do know that some of the marquee investors like Radhakrishnan Damani has picked up 90 crore rupees stake in Lenskart in the pre-IPO as well. What we've also seen is that a lot of mutual funds, about 20 mutual funds, have also picked up the stake in the pre-IPO as far as Lenskart is concerned as well. All of this raises to help us the questions as to whether an average investor should be looking to apply to this one. What's your suggestion for them?
So I think with respect to an average investor, it's a cautious apply recommendation from our side, because everybody is talking about the valuation. Obviously, if you see last 3-4 big Shark Tank listings like Honasa as well as the other IPOs which were from the Shark Tank promoters, they were also trading at very high valuations. But again, post listing, there was some kind of cooling down or some kind of getting down the valuation to a very decent level. So for me, a conservative investor, I think he has to wait and watch for post-listing performance. At least 1 quarter, we should give Lenskart a view. Then we can think of a very aggressive view on the Lenskart. But overall, for time being, the valuations are expensive. If the company keeps growing about 30 to 40% on a YOY basis, I think these valuations can be justified. But again, if the upcoming next quarter there is some kind of sudden dip in the top line as well as on the profitability, which was not in case of the last financial year, which was from the other incomes, but not a real operational income for the profitability of Lenskart. But I am very cautious on this IPO. Again, only risky investors can think of taking a bet on this IPO. But I will be a post listing advisor for this stock for any investor.
Okay, fair point. Let's now focus on the markets back in the secondary market space. What's picking up pace? Kunal, PSU banks clearly now above, in the entire stack among the sectors. It's now trading upwards of almost 0.9%. So closing in that 1% mark. Yes, it's already hit that 1% uptick on the index on the PSU banks. What exactly are you looking at here? From the lower levels, we have also pulled up on the Nifty, now in the green, 25,915. And now you have the PSU banks that are leading from the front.
Well, definitely we are witnessing a good bounce back in the Nifty. Nifty is up by 100% from its day low, and if you talk about PSU counters, Union Bank, Indian Bank, Canara Bank, all are trading at 1.5% average gain. If you talk about particular counters, then Bank Baroda looks very attractive at present level. The way stock has been trading on its daily chart, further upside would be there at the counter. Right now, stock is trading at 275. Stock has already taken the support of its previous top, which was placed at 270 level. And the risk reward is, if you are creating a long position at present level, one can get into the stock. with strict stop loss of 270. If you talk about target wise, 280 is our first target, and if stock breaks this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 292. So perfect level to get into the stock for trading perspective, Bank Baroda.
Okay, got that. Another space that's pulling up clearly is the auto space at large. Top two or three names within the top five names on the Nifty are from the auto pack. Eicher Motors, Maruti, both buzzing in trade right now. Prashant, any suggestion on these big auto companies? Most of them are also lining up for reporting their results as well. How are you looking at the space?
Very positive, I think, the way how the festival has
Yeah.
been beneficial for these auto sectors. But again, GST is also has given a very strong push for a good sales for last 1 month. So I think one should wait and watch for the margin improvement. If there is some kind of uptick in the EBITDA margins, then I think the stocks like Maruti as well as Eicher Motors can do really well. And even two wheelers have done very well. If you see TVS, I think it has done a great volume sales. So for me, Maruti can be a best pick still again on the basis of the expected good earnings. So there can be a target of at least 17,200 from the current levels.
Okay. Let me also help you understand some of the other pockets. Real estate is picking up pace as well. Kunal, would you be able to bring out certain stocks from the real estate basket that are showing some promising trading settings at this point?
Well, definitely, we have given our pick in Soba. We already talk about Loda, and right at present level, if you talk about other realities counter, then we are witnessing very good upside momentum. Not only Loda, but Brigade is there, overall reality is there, Anantara is there. So one should focus on overall reality at present level. I think reality counters may outperform other sectors. So one should focus on reality counters at present level right now. Obviously, reality is standing at 1782 level. If you talk about upper side momentum, then further upside would be there up to the level of 1860. And if stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 1940 as well. While downside support comes, if you talk about downside support, then downside support comes at 1720. So definitely, one should focus on over realities, and not only over realities, but we have already talked about Loda and yes, Soba as well.
Okay. Um, that's okay. Then also let's look at some of the other stock that we can actually pull out from the broadest index. A lot of buzz that's taking place there. Finutex Chemicals is up by 16 odd percent. I think it's the ex-bonus news flow that's actually leading to this move. Navin Fluorine we marked out 12% higher. TD Power Systems we marked out a 10% surge there. We also have some United Spirits we've already marked out. A lot of buzz. V2 Retail is up by 5 odd percent. Now among those winners, we're also looking at many others that are pulling up in trade in the broadest index. Kunal, anything from the Nifty 500 basket? Omkar Specialty now up and about 5% higher. Many of these stocks that are buzzing. What catches your attention?
Well, yes, definitely. If you talk about Nifty 500, it is up by 60 point trading at 23,900. And yes, we have already talked about Navin Flooring, United Spirit, and other counters. But if you talk about any particular counters, then right now, Force Motors looks very attractive. We have already talked about Hyundai. We have given Hyundai as a pick, but overall. If you talk about the other counters, in Force Motor looks attractive right now, trading at 17,628 level, up by 3%. And from the present level, even we may see a further upside momentum in the counter. One can get into the stock at present level. If you talk about SL side, then downside strong support comes to 17,100. Right now, stock is trading at 17,620. And if you talk about SL wise, 17,100 would be our SL. And if you talk about target wise, first target comes at 1820. And if stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 18,660. So yes, but obviously from the Nifty 500, Hyundai and Force Motor both look very attractive.
Okay, got that. Let me also look at some of the other key pockets that are truly buzzing in trade right now. Okay, FMCG space, Prashant, how are you looking at some of the stocks there? Dabur has reacted lower to the earnings. ITC is still holding up in trade. What's your current sense as far as the FMCG basket is concerned?
I think there is a mixed action of underperformance and performance by ITC. ITC as well as Hindustan Lever and Tata Consumers have done very well in their recent business updates as well as on the Q2 earnings. That is keeping the sector under very positive zone. But again, overall, the festival season has given some kind of good volume growth in all the segments of this FMCG. So overall, the sector would remain very positive. Downside is very limited. If you want to pick one stock, I think Hindustan Lever can be a stock which has underperformed from last 7-8 days. Can see some kind of good uptick for a very shorter period of time for 100-150 rupees momentum from the current levels.
Okay, let me also just garner some more understanding on pharma and metals that are dragging in trade. Kunal, how are you looking at the pharma space weakening? What is your stance there?
Well, if you look at this pharma, pharma is trading little bit weak at 22,274 level, and if you talk about Lupin, Doctor, Discipla, all are trading in a negative zone. But yeah, one to two stocks there, one to two stocks are there which looks very attractive at present level, and one should focus on Glenmark. The way on a day, the way stock has been trading on its daily chart, we may see a very good upside momentum in the counter from the present level. Stock has already taken the support of its previous top, which has now become a good support for the counter. Right now, stock is trading at 1900 level. One can keep SL at 1800, and if you talk about target wise, first target comes at 1975, and if stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 2100. So amongst the pharma counters, I think landmark looks very attractive in terms of technical structures.
Okay, got that. Now, Prashant, would you have any view as far as the pharma story is concerned, the kind of numbers that we've got, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, and how are you looking at the current, space of pharma, and what's your strategy?
Very positive. I think downside is very limited in the pharma space right now. The sector is actually waiting for a positive trigger from India and US deal, which is going to be signed very soon, maybe 1 week or 1 month time period. So that will be a time when pharma will be very much focused. But time being, I think downside is very limited. In this space, we like granules and lupin a lot. I think granules can do better post the company was excluded from the FNO session. The stock has done really good. For me, the stock can go towards 620, 630 levels in a shorter period of time. And again, Lupin also looks very good at the current levels on the valuation side. I think 2000, 2100 can be a short-term target for Lupin as well. So overall, very bullish on pharma as a sector. The main trigger would be India-US trade deal sign, which is going to happen in less than 1 month.
Okay, let's focus on the IT pack again. This is something that we need to discuss with both our guests too. IT sector, we've seen large cap companies already come out with the numbers. Now, Emphasis has come out with its numbers, reported highest ever revenue and earnings per share growth led by insurance and technology, media and telecommunications verticals for the company too. Of course, these mid-cap companies are now reporting their earnings. How are you assessing the IT pack right now, Prashant? Remember, it's coming after a large part of consolidation and underperformance for the sector. Finally, are you seeing some green shoots in the earnings? Does it bring you back to purchasing some stocks now at this stage?
After going through all the Q2 earnings of TCS, Infosys, and HCL or Wipro, I think the sector is now out of the woods right now. The downside is very limited for me on the current levels. And the results of Q2 earnings from the mid cap and small cap, I think that would be a watchful event for me. Stocks like Persistence, Emphasis may not give a great numbers in the Q2 earnings, but again, one should focus on the large cap. I think anytime the sector goes towards very positive trigger, I think the four large caps like Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech, and Wipro, these can do a better trade for any investor for a short period of time.
Okay, got that. Let me also quickly look at Kunal sharing his view as far as the IT space is concerned. Technically, are the stocks within the IT sector better placed than what we were seeing, say, in the last 1 or 2 months?
Well, if you look at IT counters, Nifty IT is trading at 25,995, and if you talk about other counters, and Infosys looks very attractive. Since long we have been giving positive feedback on the Infosys. Right now, Infosys is trading at 1495. Now, I'm not suggesting to go for creating any fresh position for trading perspective, but yeah, this counter looks very attractive for medium term to long term. If you talk about upper side level, then first target comes at 1630, and if stock break this level, then one way upside would be there up to the level of 1850. So I am from my side, please avoid any trading perspective recommended any trading perspective activity in this IT counters. But yeah, yes, if you are looking for creating any long term, medium term to long term portfolio, then IT counters looks very attractive. And yes, from other IT counters, I think Infosys looks very attractive for an upside movement up to the level of 1640 to 1850.
Okay, got that. All right. We are 5 minutes away from the first half an hour to pan out, and we are pulling up well. 25,934, 54 points higher on the Nifty. We are close to the day's high point now, 2/10% higher. Kunal, do you see this pickup taking shape sustainably through the course of the day, or do you again see the risk of profit taking?
Well, definitely, profit booking would be there. No doubt, we are witnessing some good upside momentum bounce back from its day low. But it's like cautious view from my side. One should wait till 10 a.m. and afterwards, even we may see some kind of profit booking in the Nifty, even up to the level of 25,800.
Okay, Prashant, help us understand your top stock ideas. As the markets again make an attempt towards 26,000, if we sustain, what are the pockets that you are most bullish on, and the stock ideas that you would like to share?
I think bank PSU sector should be one should focus more on that. The way how government is also supporting with lot of liquidity, and I think in the PSU bank, Bank of Baroda, PNB, these two stocks looks very good for me at this point of time. If you want to buy anything good at a very good valuation, I think discount looks very good at this point of time. I think 15,700 can be a good level to start accumulating discount, and the downside is very limited from the current levels, with a target of at least 17,000 for a short period of time. And second would be again the mutant on stock, which is SDFC AMC. Due to the SEBI regulation, there was a sharp fall in the SDFC price. So I think now everything is discounted in the price. So I think SDFC AMC can be a good stock for a long-term investors to at least start accumulating this, with a target of at least 6,000 for a medium-term to long-term.
Okay, fair point. Let me also grab another sector to address it with both our guests, and before we let them go, another 4-5 minutes. This one will be from the entire space of metals that I wanted to ask both of you. Remember when we were talking at the last couple of quarters, and last in fact when we've been speaking during the festive season as well. I was discussing with a lot of market experts talking about whether the precious metals rally will now pour into the hard metals as well. Is the time right for the metal story to continue to shine? Prashant, you and Kunal, both of you have also shared your insights on metal story in the past few quarters as well. What's your sense right now? Is the tide truly turning, or would you still be reserved when it comes to the metal story? Prashant, starting with you.
I think the short-term rally has already happened in hard metals like Tata Steel or SAIL or JSW Steel, and I think the near-term outlook would remain very consolidating phase for a business outlook. But again, I think upside would be very limited for a short period of time. Overall, metal as a sector would be a very highly volatile sector for a long-term player. But time being, if you want to take any bet, I think we should be sideways in terms of taking any fresh position in any of these stocks like Tata Steel, SAIL or Hindalco. If anybody want to pick up one, I think Hindustan Zinc can be a one stock which can be a good play for a short period of time.
Okay. Got that. Let me just quickly also talk about any red flags, any areas where both of you feel very reserved, and diffident about at this point in time, not sure of whether these pockets will actually turn around or perform in the near term. Kunal, starting off with you.
Well, if you talk about metal index, metal counters, right now metal counters is trading at 10,709 level. We have seen a very magnificent momentum. This metal counters at one point of time was trading at 8,400, and from that level we had witnessed one barrel in this counter. But at present level, few counters are there which looks very attractive for getting into the stock at present level, and one counter is NMDC. This is fundamentally strong counters. Not only this, it's a good dividend paying company as well. And if you talk about technical perspective, it has a strong support at 73 level as well. So yes, anybody who is looking for metal counters, then NMDC looks very attractive at present level. No doubt it is down by minor loss of 0.04%, but this is a perfect time to get into the stock with strict stop loss of 73. If you talk about target wise, 79 would be the first target. target, and if stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 82. So yes, from my side, from this mega counters, NMDC looks very attractive.
Okay, got that. All right, Prashant, what about you? Any reservations on any pockets?
I think healthcare sector should be some kind of seen pressure in the recent times. So as a sector trend, I think there can be some kind of over zone trade. So one should avoid the healthcare sector right now this point of time. In specific, again, Apollo Hospital can be one stock which can see some kind of again 100 200 rupees momentum on the downside levels from the current level. So overall, be negative on the healthcare sector.
Okay, got that. Well, let me also just get a sense of when it comes to the weakening pockets right now. Again, we are swiftly seeing metals, pharma, private banks, infra space getting under some pressure at this point in time. But definitely PSU banks, autos, realty, FMCG climbing up. IT also some gains. Broader markets also pulling up in trade right now. But let me ask you on the mid and the small caps. Last leave to both of you before we let you go. Mid and small caps, what's the strategy? How are you looking at stock picking right now? Prashant, starting with you.
I think mid-cap stocks can be focused stocks right now on the back of the Q2 earnings, which are better than Q1 earnings. So in this space, I think SBI card can be one stock one should focus more on. I think the worst is over on the charts on the price. So SBI card can be one good stock to start accumulating from the current levels. I will be focusing more on the mid-caps. I think large caps there is already a good momentum done from last 2 months. The way how markets have rallied from 1,200 points from the 2 months low. So I think mid cap would be a second sector one should focus more on, and in specific again NBFC as a sector one should focus more on that. So M&M Finance as well as the SBI cards can be two stocks in the mid cap space.
Okay, Kunal, to you next.
Well, if you talk about mid cap, small cap, then one should focus on two stock. First stock is Star Health right now trading at 497, up by 3.37%. Stock has already taken the support of its previous top, which was placed at 480 level. Now that top has become a good support for the counters, and stock has been turning upwards 100 and 200 days moving average. So overall structure looks very attractive for this counter. One can get into the stock at present level with 6 stop loss of 480. If you talk about target wise, the way stock has been trading on this daily chart, first target comes at 510, and if stock break this level, then further upside would be there up to the level of 535. So somewhere around 6 to 7% of return that we can expect from the Star Health. And second counter from this space is Newgen Software Technologies Limited. We have seen a very good upside momentum. Stock has already given a breakout of its range bound momentum in which it was trading for more than 3 months. Right now stock is trading at 1006 level. Downside strong support comes at 940 level. And if you talk about moving average wise, stock has been trading above 20 days moving average. So yes, for trading perspective, trend is on upper side. One can get into the stock at present level with strict stop loss of 940. If you talk about target wise, first target comes at 155, and if stock break this level, then further upside will be there up to the level of 1135. So 13 to 14% of return that we can expect from this counter from the present level.
Okay, got that. Let me also quickly ask you when it comes to the strategy for the next week, Kunal, before I let you go, what would you advise?
Well, from my side, so sell on rise strategy would be the fruitful strategies, because if you look after the FII data, and then yesterday's trading session, FII made somewhere around 1000 to 2000 crore of short position in the Nifty futures index and stock future as well. So overall, this sentiment clearly signifies for downside momentum. So any pullback is there, one should capitalize this pullback as a sell on rise strategy.
Okay, got that. All right, thank you so much then Prashant, and thank you so much Kunal for being with us on the program today and helping us with all these insights across various sectors and overall markets that we've spotted with you. And I hope that we are able to move up the needle on the markets that's been finding itself stuck in a range now. And of course, we will get more opportunities to get you back and to talk about more market insights. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time. Viewers, 25,926 on the Nifty. Not too bad, about 46 points high in trade. As a start, we are closing in on the high point, but let's see whether this sustains through the course of the day. So stay tuned with us. We'll continue to track the market move for you. But in case you have any questions about the stocks that you have in your portfolio or that are coming onto your watch list amidst all these earnings, whether you should be doing some rejig, ask those questions on daily calls. At 12 noon, top market experts will guide you on your stock queries. Whether you're holding the right set of stocks, you need to make any changes, where can you get better opportunities to make higher profits? All of those questions can be answered on daily calls at 12 noon. I'll be back for that. Stay tuned for that.